All right, guys, I've got 3 contests to enter today. Hopefully I can get everything in and not forget any of it. The first one, we'll start with N-Seams25. And I'm gonna try and put links to everybody in this video. I know it's a requirement for some of the contests, but wanna make sure I get that in there for each of these guys. Great channels. N-Seams25 wants to share something about an athlete, pro athlete from our hometown. Well, being from Franklin, North Carolina, there's really only one that made it to the pros that really amounted to anything. And I'll show off the items that I got and then talk a little bit about them. It's actually some of the only football items I have. This is an autographed 8x10, an autographed card. I also have an autographed football. Those are of Sean BRYSON, who played at the University of Tennessee and was a captain on the 1998 national championship team. He was a running back, and he spent, I believe, 6 seasons in the NFL between the Bills and the Lions. So pretty cool. He played at University of Tennessee when they were really good and made it to the NFL. Sean is a great guy. I've met him a couple times, and his mom still works at the local post office in Franklin, North Carolina. So N-Seams25, man, congratulations on 100 subscribers. I'm sure you'll have a lot of cool entries about athletes from people's hometown here on YouTube. The second and third contests, I'm kind of going to combine because they have overlap and I may tell stories at the same time I show cards and all that good stuff. The contests come from Alex, Bowman53. His contest is a Just Because contest. He's given away a sweet Pee Wee Reese 53 Bowman. Makes sense, being 53 Bowman. And what he wants us to do is, it's called Cards and Tubers. Show off cards or items from your collection that remind you of other tubers. And I have some stuff that I'm going to do that with. But in conjunction with another contest, which is for the Bench Clear Media Contest, Baseball Collector is running it. He wanted you to tell some stories about some of the friendships that you have made via YouTube. And that's definitely gonna tie in for me, so I'm gonna do those at the same time. All right, first, I feel obligated to start with Alex, Bowman53. Probably the person on YouTube that is most famous for a very specific set. He built this Bowman53 set over a couple years. I've only gotten to interact with Alex a little bit, but he does live in Savannah, Georgia, home of the Savannah Bananas, a team I helped launch a few years ago. So I feel like we're tied together a little bit, even though we haven't got to talk a whole lot or have never met. But I show off this Roy Campanella because how can you look at any Bowman53 cards and not be reminded of the man himself? It's a great set, and for me, he'll always be tied to it. So I'll put that one back in there. Let's see, let's go here next. This next guy was the first person I ever sent a care package item to on YouTube. At the time, he was a brand new YouTuber. I had checked him out. He had less than 50 subs. I liked what he was doing. And he happened to collect a player that I had an item of that didn't really fit in my collection since, you know, I do Hall of Famers and vintage sets and stuff like that. I had this home plate, mini home plate, signed by Bobby Richardson. And lo and behold, this guy's channel is all about Bobby Richardson. It was literally named after him. And you guys may have figured it out by now. I'm talking about Impact Player, Josh. And he has not only a great collection, but another reason I was drawn to his channel was his testimony as a fellow Christian. And Impact Player, his channel name, comes from Bobby Richardson's book and the story of how he witnessed to Mickey Mantle, which is pretty cool, pretty creative name. So Josh and I, you know, got connected and had talked over the last couple years a fair bit. And out of the blue, I got a package from him one time, and he had apparently watched one of my videos where in passing I just mentioned like, it's probably a crime that I don't have this card. It wasn't super valuable at the time. I just had never had one when I was a kid and hadn't gotten around to buying one yet. And he sends it in the mail, and it shows up. And that's this card. Every time I look at it, it reminds me of Josh, because I know exactly where it came from, and his generosity and our friendship. I really think this card is a great example of that. And it's the Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. card. It's an awesome card. Even Dave Blue Jacket 66 might call it iconic, but it definitely reminds me of Josh, and I always remember that. Appreciate you, brother. All right, next item. This channel is one of the 2 channels that originally got me into YouTube. I had saw Mike Baseball Collector, one of his card room videos on Blowout Forums. That's how I first checked him out. And via his channel, I found the one I'm about to talk about, and I was just blown away by his collection. This guy should be a YouTube Hall of Famer this year. Little plug for that. He has the best Hall of Fame autograph collection on YouTube, and the best one I've ever seen. Bill, the Hall of Fame collector, we've chatted a little bit over the past few years on and off, and I know he's a big supporter of my channel. He's always commenting on my stuff, and I watch every single one of his videos. I don't think I've ever missed one, because our collections line right up together. Even though he's going on this 90s expedition with Maddox now, at least it's a Brave, I still enjoy Bill's channel. He's a great guy, great person. I hope to get up north to his house someday to see that museum of a collection. Maybe one of the Nationals, man, that ends up in the Northeast. But anyways, the card that reminds me of Bill, like I said, we overlap with Hall of Fame collecting, and from time to time, Bill has contacted me and been like, hey man, I upgraded an autograph. I know you like Hall of Fame autographs. Do you want to buy this one from me? And this one specifically, he said, hey, it's a cut autograph. I've upgraded. I know you like Perez steals. Maybe you could turn it into one. And I'm so happy you reached out to me and that I was able to get it. I was a nervous wreck creating this card. I actually have a video of making the cut, is what it's called, of me making this and sending it off to SGC at the time when they were still doing autograph authentication. But it's none other than Hall of Famer Tony Lazzeri. And besides the fact that Bill sent it to me, another reason why this is a great representation of our relationship is that he's one of the few people that can really appreciate this card. Non-Hall of Fame collectors, non-Yankee collectors are going to be like, never really heard of the guy. Isn't he even any good? This is a tough Hall of Fame autograph. And Bill cut me a great deal, and I'm so happy to have it as part of my collection. It'll never leave, Bill. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. I've got 2 more items. And originally when I was going to do this video, I was going to do like an item for every team in MLB and try and assign, a YouTuber to each one. And I felt like I'd inevitably leave people out. And that sucks. YouTube's a great community. I've got to know a lot of people. And I didn't want to do like 35 and then leave out people. So I tried to narrow it down to just a handful of the handful that I've talked to the most. And that's not a slight against anybody. I hope I become closer with a lot more people via YouTube. That's the goal, right? That's why I'm here. Show my collection and get to know people. But this next guy is a pretty special story here. I found him because of his love of Hall of Famers, a little bit of vintage, and he's a funny guy. And who doesn't like a good funny guy? He's the only YouTuber I have ever met in person. I hope that changes. I hope I get to go to some nationals in the future and meet a lot of you guys, meet all you guys. But he's the only one that I've ever met. He's the only one that's ever been to my house. He's been in this baseball room right here. We had a great time. We spent 3 or 4 hours, probably a couple more hours that both of our wives really wanted us to spend looking at cards, talking about sports, talking about life. And I'm happy to know that I will get a lot more time in the future to spend getting to know Bob Lewis because he is a fellow Christian, and we'll spend eternity together of Bob telling jokes and me talking about baseball cards with him. But this card that always reminds me of him is he's a big Pirates fan. And I remember when he got his card of this, and I was so happy for him because I had just gotten mine a little bit before he did. But it's the 1955 Topps Roberto Clemente rookie card. Glad we belong to that club together as well, Bob. Very cool, man. And the fact that you had one already, I didn't have to worry about, you sneaking out with mine when you came to visit. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you, brother. And my last one, it's not a card, but my last one is a channel that I don't think gets enough love on YouTube, and it's become someone that I talk to all the time. Somehow we don't have each other's phone numbers, but we Facebook message all the time about collecting, and it's been really cool getting to know him. We talk about the Hall of Fame and, opinions on players and, show off items to each other early a lot of times before they hit YouTube in reality. And it's a cool aspect of my collection that not a lot of other people on YouTube share. I know actually Alex Bowman53 collects autographed baseballs. And there are a couple other channels that do, but none as big as this guy. His Hall of Fame autographed baseball collection blows everybody else on YouTube away. And that's not a slight to anybody, that's a brag on his collection. It's incredible. If you haven't checked it out, it is so impressive. When I did my Hall of Fame baseball autograph registry contest about a year or so ago, he's number 1. I somehow managed to be number 2, but he has triple what I have. He has, I believe, 180 some odd Hall of Fame autographed baseballs, and that is tough to do. But I'm going to tell you who it is. It's Reina Martin. John, I appreciate you, man. I love our conversations. I look forward to it every time one of your messages pop up on my phone of like, hey, John's got something to show off or something he wants to talk about with collecting. You're a great dude. I love that you're always reaching out to me. That's really cool. We've never met in person. And, you live in Boston. I live in the South of North Carolina, but maybe we can meet someday. But the item that makes me think of you is actually one that I recently got. And you were probably just as excited about it as I was. But you're a Boston Red Sox fan. And I had to pick a baseball, right? There's my Ted Williams autographed baseball. It's a beauty. I think even Reina Martin would be proud of that autograph. So hey man, thanks for being a great friend. All right guys, so that completes the 3 contests. Thank you to Alex Bowman53 for putting on his contest. Thank you for N-Seams25 putting on his contest. And thank you to Bench Clear Media and Baseball Collector for putting on his contest. Check out their channels, check out my friends' channels that I mentioned, and hey, everybody, this was a lot of fun. Keep being a part of a great community. Until next time, keep collecting. God bless.